Good evening, I'm Jo Marie Lanza, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News tonight. Tonight, Joseph Ryan Budna identifies police constable Barry Flowers as one of his abductors. And Minister of Home Affairs Musa joins the call for a special investigation and the release of the videos. But the press grilled him about his Commissioner of Police. Plus, we'll go deep south to the village of Indian Creek, where villagers have angrily abandoned the alcalde system. Also, we'll take you to an on-the-ground training to fight forest fires. These stories and more are ahead on 7 News, so please stay tuned.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Belize, are you really free? Can't you feel the chains tightening? The Ministry of Finance is imposing a new tax system on you so they can see all transactions in real time. It starts with invoices, then the national ID, then your fingerprints. They call it progress in the name of efficiency and transparency. But we know what it is. It's control. They're building a surveillance web, and you're caught in it. Every move, every payment, every transaction will live on a government server forever. To be analyzed and studied, shared with foreign interests who finance these projects. This data will be more valuable than you will ever know.
Somewhere in all of this, there's another pension plan for the boys.
Privacy isn't a luxury. It's a right. It's time to stand up and speak out before it's too late.
Make every moment matter with your credit card. More transactions, more chances to win cash back. You can be one of 4 monthly winners. Get a chance to win cash back with every purchase of $100 or more. For more information, visit www.atlabank.com. Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning. the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Tenemos la capacidad técnica, operativa, profesional y la infraestructura de poder establecer una atención neurológica de alta calidad.
Que no se pierda tiempo de forma innecesaria para poder al final del día llegar al mejor de los resultados y la mejor opción para el paciente.
These charter mints aren't from
We're
an
navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023.
Good evening.
Good evening, I'm Shireen Halsell.
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craft.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
They say you should never send a boy to do a man's job. But someone forgot to tell Shine Barrow. This immature little boy thought he could step into his uncle's shoes.
I am a natural as my father, as my Uncle Finnegan.
He's been propped up by giants, men who built a nation, men who safeguarded democracy, men who stood against the tyranny of a one-party state. Now, this little boy is undoing it all. He's dismantling our nation's democracy, all in service of his insecurity and ego.
I have accomplished so much in life.
Every day, he brings us closer and closer to a one-party state, to a growing dictatorship without any opposition. It's time for this little boy to grow up and step down.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there. Expo sponsors include Bowen & Bowen, Smart Belize, Maurice Sharp's Fine Foods Limited, Quality Poultry Products, DigiWallet, Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Cellular World Belize, the European Union, Diversified Life Solutions, the Belize Tourism Board, Tenchtronics, Woodstock, Belize Soca and Culture Fest, Love FM, Love Television, Creme Radio, XTV, Hot Off the Press, Hits 100 Oye FM, Belize Entrepreneur Spotlight, and the BCCI's Western Union.
Come to Banquet, find your way. Engines roar at the break of day. Volvo outboard surf the waves. Castrol oil is what they crave. Live with power, feel the sound. Heavy machines shake the ground. Riding Honda, feeling proud. Rev it up and shout aloud. Feel the wind against your skin. Smell so wide, let's begin. At Banquet, where dreams ignite. Gear up, and let's take flight. Kohler's power runs our towns. JCB lifts heavy pounds. Find the tools to build your dreams. Banquip's got the best machines. Grip the wheel and never slip. Feel the rush, it's time to trip. Every brand you know and love. Banquip fits you like a glove. Feel the wind against your skin. Smell so wide, let's begin. At Banquip, where dreams ignite. Gear up, and let's take flight.
Banquet, equipment, parts, service. We represent quality.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tonight, Tonight, from a Guatemalan jail, Joseph Budna has identified PC Barry Flowers as one of his abductors. He did this after we sent him a photo of Flowers. Now, he has maintained in every recording that while the abductors were masked, one of them was wearing a white t-shirt and was not today. Today, speaking through his attorney's cell phone from a Guatemalan prison, he said that man is PC Barry Flowers.
He had on a white t-shirt, three-quarter pants, and I saw his face, so I can recognize him. Yes, he's the one that had me over. The white t-shirt.
So you're saying that person in the picture identified as Barry Flowers?
Yes.
Are you certain?
Yes, from his face, I can recognize his face. Look at the picture carefully, and definitely I can identify him as that person who handed me over to the Guatemalan authorities.
But maybe it was nighttime, and maybe or early in the morning, no sun was out, and maybe you're making a mistake.
This person here, I saw his face clearly on Arenal football field because there was a light post. The National Civilian Police in uniform and with their guns, they received me from this guy and a document in folder from him. The guy that is one Barry Flowers, if I'm not mistaken, that's his name, but I clearly identify him because I saw him from a close range and there was sufficient light in the area.
We have tried to reach Flowers by phone and text for a response, but got no answer. In a message to a private Facebook poster, he said he is wrongfully associated with such a serious matter and that he condemns the criminal act in the strongest terms. We note that Flowers was charged for cyberbullying by former Commissioner Chester Williams in April for insulting Facebook comments. William put him on interdiction for that. When Compol Rosado took office, Flowers was reinstated. Today in San Pedro at the Investment Summit, the press asked the Minister of Home Affairs if there's a black ops team in the department capable of such a brazen crime.
Do you believe that this act was carried out by rogue police officers taking orders from perhaps a secret group within the department?
I would not want to speculate. I would want to see where the police investigation takes us and where the independent investigation takes us. But I wouldn't want to speculate who those men are. Again, you can't identify them. I think Mr. Budna said repeatedly they wore masks, but from what I saw from the grainy video, it didn't look like they were wearing masks. So again, it will depend on the enhancement of the high quality video, if there is one, to identify those individuals.
And by making reference to the grainy video Channel 7 has possession of, suggests that he hasn't seen the ones which police have, which are in full high resolution. In fact, he says he saw it here first.
If you've seen that video that has been leaked to the public regarding Mr. Budna's abduction.
Yes, I did see it aired on Channel 7. That's the first time I saw it.
No. What's your take on it?
It leaves a lot to be answered, Marisol. But what you might have seen from that video footage yesterday is a police officer coming to the scene. And then thereafter, I don't know if you recognize somebody. You can't make out the faces based on the video footage, but the person then tells him to leave. And so that has created a huge question. And so the Prime Minister has said that after receiving the investigative report from the police department, he will review it and decide whether or not we need to have an independent investigation. My personal take on it, and I've mentioned it to the Prime Minister, I think regardless of the outcome of the investigation by police, because of the interests of this particular case, in terms of openness and transparency, it warrants an independent investigation.
People will want to know, based on what you said, so how is it that it's the first time you're seeing any surveillance footage from this incident?
I'm not the police, Paul, so I don't get to see what's happening in an investigation. I don't have access to that.
Do you know if there is high quality videos out there, or at least in the possession of the police?
I think by the end of today, when that file is turned over, we will know what the police has in its possession.
Do you believe that Commissioner of Police Dr. Rosado lied when he said that no police officer was involved in this incident?
So I heard that remark, and like the media, it raised some questions for me. And so I had called the police commissioner on seeing that in the newscast after the press briefing. And I said, Commissioner, how can you be so sure that the individuals are not police officers? And he said to me, Minister, what I am saying is that the police department is not a part of that. Whether or not those individuals who are in casual outfits are police officers, he cannot say, because there would be on a frolic of their own. But he's saying from the high command of the police, this is not something orchestrated by the police. So that's what he meant.
Officers, have investigators, any at all spoken to that officer in uniform that was seen in the video?
I don't know who that officer is. I'm hoping the investigators know, because there's only limited officers at the station at that particular time. It would have to be one in about 10 of them. So I'm hoping at least that the investigation covered and interviewed that officer.
Do you know if investigators have talked to the police officer at the Arenal checkpoint? We understand there was an argument there between these individuals in the vehicle and that officer.
Yeah, I would not know that. Again, investigation, we'll have to wait for that.
And that investigation, or at least the short version of it, should have been handed to the Prime Minister 2 hours ago. From that, the Prime Minister says he will make a decision on whether to approve an independent investigation. But in his remarks to the press in San Pedro this morning, his Minister of Home Affairs is already there. He said he supports that and releasing the security videos.
Like I said, the commissioner arrives in country at 1, and I'm hoping to get that report to the Prime Minister by 4 p.m.
How can you expect that if he was out of the country that he has an investigative?
He's not the investigative officer. He's going to get the file from the investigative officer and deliver it to the Prime Minister.
Do you vouch for him or trust that he can lead this, well, not lead the investigation, but oversee it in a manner that is worthy of public trust?
Like I said, the Commissioner of Police is not the lead investigator in this. There is a hierarchy, and they will report to him the findings, and that will be delivered to the Prime Minister.
The recording at that bilateral meeting would have been just for record-keeping purposes?
I don't know if they published it in their media. No, we don't have access to it, but they have the recording.
Have you investigated if Guatemala ever requested the return of Budna back in 2019?
I would not know that. I would have to check the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
And lastly for me on this, did you expect when you heard that this had occurred that this would blow up the way it has and all the criticism that's coming on the administration for this?
Absolutely, I expected that, but at the same time we were focused on the investigation and getting a resolution from that angle. And so while the investigation is going on, you're in the media, you know how things work. Videos are leaked, information is leaked. It won't, in my opinion, ruin the integrity of the investigation to have these footages leaked. So by all means, release the footage, release the high resolution recording as well.
That's your position.
That's my position as well. Yes.
So then why hasn't it happened as yet?
Because there is the integrity process. No, at this point, there's already a release of the footage. And so you could assume that if anything is going to be done to that footage, enhancement or tampering with it, it's already out there, so might as well release the original
So
one.
as the Minister of Home Affairs, will you release the footage?
I don't have the footage, Paul, but yes, I will ask them to release the footage.
When you get the footage, you will release it?
I won't get the footage. You'll get it before me.
Well, if you have it and you give it
I
to me,
don't have it, yes. But I don't have, but if I get it, I'll definitely give it to you, Paul.
And while Musa seemed to be willing to freely share what he says he doesn't have, he was much more conservative when discussing what is shown in that video. It shows Budna's kidnappers beating and restraining a man and showing no fear at all of the police station just 100 feet away. At the time, they had also blocked the street known as Hospital Crescent. The press asked about the impunity the kidnappers displayed.
Because they felt that they were going to get away with it. It was done a stone's throw away from the police station because you're a police.
No. How you could think that you can get away with something like that?
How can a civilian wave away a police officer if he claimed, according to Budna, that he was a police officer?
You're asking me to speculate, Marisol. These things are going to come out in the investigation and in the independent investigation. I can't say who that police officer saw and what was said between them.
What if the investigation finds that police officers are implicated in this incident?
Well, heads have to roll, Paul. Absolutely, heads have to roll. And I think the Commissioner of Police said that to let the chips fall where they may.
Even if it is the compol who directed it?
I know even they getting accusations like that, Marisol. That's some dangerous accusations. Heads will have to roll no matter who it is, whoever is involved in that. Of course.
And while Musa tried to resist the irresistible takeaways from that video, he also held the line for his Commissioner of Police.
So there are things that checked out that Budna stated and claimed based on that leaked video. One of them, the main one, being that a police officer came out from the Orange Walk police station, which the compol was trying to say didn't happen, which means that the compol was lying, and that was not the only thing that he lied about. He lied about the ways to get to Arenal, and that a checkpoint is right before you actually reach the community.
I don't know the ways in and out of Arenal, but for you to say the compol lied, you're assuming you saw what he saw. You're assuming you saw the footage that he saw. What is the footage that he saw? You have to ask him, what is the footage you saw that saw the 4 individuals?
There would only be one footage because he would, as the commissioner, he would have access to all the surveillance footage from those areas. And at the Monday press briefing, he made reference to surveillance footage, and he said, based on these footages we saw, that there were 4 people involved in a scuffle, one who appeared to be Budna. So he would have seen the same footage that everyone else has seen.
And he also said that no police officers approached them.
You need to ask the commissioner what he saw. You're making an assumption and asking a third party what the commissioner saw when he was reviewing the footage. So how can I answer that?
And while Musa would not entertain any assumptions around the compol, he did try and seize on what he says are inconsistencies in Budna's account.
Given that Budna the very next day via a leaked audio indicated and alleged that it is police who abducted him, why hasn't an independent investigation been ordered immediately?
I think, well, first of all, an independent investigation is not anything that has ever been done, at least to my knowledge. The police department is charged to investigate offenses in this country. There is nothing to suggest the compol is in on this and that he is not taking the right action as it comes to investigating this. I know that Jules is saying, oh, the man said car instead of SUV, but Budna said they wore masks and they weren't wearing masks. So you have to look at all the facts of the case. And in my mind, what is proof positive that we need an independent investigation is the fact that a police officer, a corporal, came on the scene from that footage, which I have to assume is a legitimate footage. I have to assume that, and then was directed by those individuals to leave. That, to me, sends the message we need to have an independent investigation into this.
And while Musa supports an independent investigation, can it truly be independent when state actors may be involved? Speaking from that jail in Guatemala City through his attorney's phone, Joseph Budna told Jules Vasquez today that the state has a lot of answering to do.
You kidnap me a certain time in front of the police station in Orange Walk. You move quickly and get me to Arenal, hand me over to Arenal. Now you kidnap this person. How is it that I ended up in the hands of Guatemalan authorities? Isn't this a kidnap? It's a kidnap carried out by the state of Belize. The government, the administration of Referendum knows good about this. Don't allow this to go like this, because the next can be any one of you. any one of you. The government is a very dangerous government if they don't correct this situation and punish who needs to be punished and recompense who needs to be recompensed. I was not committing any crime in belief, but because it's a corrupt enterprise run by the government and security forces under the government, it is dangerous and it could happen to any citizen of the country. The police has the main reason why they are roaming the country without license plate. They are responsible for a lot of these young men in a execution style. They are responsible. There's a serious criminal entity within the police department, especially under the leadership of Rosado Jules.
And while Budna implicates the state directly, Musa flatly rejected that in his remarks today.
Was Budna's abduction state ordered or state sanctioned?
Absolutely not, Paul. I think the Prime Minister has made that emphatically clear each time you interview him. There is absolutely no reason for the state to want to abduct him. As you know, we have relations with Guatemala, not formal diplomatic relations to the point of having an extradition treaty. But in a year or two after the ICJ judgment, you best believe we're going to have an extradition treaty. So why would anybody want to take him now when you can extradite him in 2 years? I don't understand the reasoning behind that.
And in his first 2 recordings, which we got last week, Budna also made specific allegations saying that his abductors called someone named Kareem. They allegedly did this as they took him across the country on a 3-hour drive from the north to the far west. We've never aired that portion of the recording because we wanted to hear the response from the most well-known Kareem, Minister Musa himself. Here's what Budna alleged and what Minister Musa had to say in response.
And they were in communication with one Kareem. One of the guys said, Kareem the cow, and the driver stepped out of the vehicle and spoke on phone for about a minute and then jumped in back in the vehicle and they move on.
Budna also alleges that a call was made and that Kareem was referred to. Sir, was that you?
Paul, I don't know how long you've been in media, but I'm sure Marisol has been in the media a little longer, and so she knows me. She knows that I invested my entire time and energy to become an attorney at law. It took me 5 years. It might seem like a little bit of time. I practiced law in this country for 17 years. I find it a little insulting that you think for one moment that I am the person he's talking about. I find that insulting, Paul, because one, I don't know Budna. He has not offended or violated or molested any of my family members, so I have no grievance against him. He has not had any run-in with me per se. I don't know if in his lives he mentions me. I don't know. I've never heard of it. But why would I, as an attorney at law, as a politician, with my entire future ahead of me, risk my future for Joseph Ryan Budna? Ask yourself that question. Why would I get involved in something like that? You're talking about 4 individuals picking him up. You're saying that me talk to one a day and orchestrate something like this? Man, you call me a kidnapper now, Paul. I take insult to it, but at the same time, I know you have to ask the questions. You have to do your job.
And while Budna's comment implied Musa's possible involvement, the minister said he believes what was done to citizen Budna is wrong, even if he has a criminal past.
I gather that it is your view that despite Mr. Budna's character, personality, that a crime was committed against him.
Absolutely. I think we have to separate oranges from the apples here. Joseph Budna is not just one of the most colorful personalities we've ever had in history. He's one of the most dangerous personalities we've had ever when it comes to minors, when it comes to kidnapping, extortion. These are charges he's been convicted for in multiple jurisdictions. That does not mean, though, that Joseph Budna, the Belizean citizen, does not deserve to have his rights respected. Like I said, in 2 years now, he may have probably right there at Guatemala jail right now because we would have extradited him under a treaty. There's no reason for anybody to abduct or kidnap him or anything like that. But 2 wrongs do not make a right. The fact that we have that dangerous person on the streets of Belize does not mean anybody else has the right to go and pick him up and to beat him and to take him to Guatemala. So let me make that very clear. 2 offenses here. 1 individual convicted, 4 individuals who beat him and took him to Guatemala.
And we take a break from all that Joseph Budna news now. When we come back, we'll go deep south to Indian Creek Village, where villagers say they have abandoned the alcalde system. You'll hear why. Don't go away.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The biggest business event of the year is back and better than ever. The Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. Mark your calendars and join us on September 13th and 14th at the Marion Jones Sporting Complex in Belize City. Don't miss your chance to explore hundreds of local businesses showcasing the very best in local products and services. From unbeatable deals and mouth-watering food and drinks to live entertainment that'll keep you moving. The Expo Belize Marketplace has it all. Whether you're shopping, discovering what's new on the market, or just enjoying the vibes, there's definitely something for everyone. So come on out and celebrate 29 years of Belizean innovation at the Expo Belize Marketplace 2025. See you there. Expo sponsors include Bowen & Bowen, Smart Belize, Maurice Sharp's Fine Foods Limited, Quality Poultry Products, DigiWallet, Grace Kennedy Belize Limited, Cellular World Belize, the European Union, Diversified Life Solutions, the Belize Tourism Board, Tenchtronics, Woodstock, Belize Soca and Culture Fest, Love FM, Love Television, Creme Radio, XTV, Hot Off the Press, Hits 100 Oye FM, Belize Entrepreneur Spotlight, and the BCCI's Western Union.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History, choose Contributions, read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
You're up.
These charter mints aren't from
We're
an
navigating
airplane.
along the coastline.
This morning,
of
the
northern
2023.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Cherise Halsell,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craft.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
They say you should never send a boy to do a man's job. But someone forgot to tell Shine Barrow. This immature little boy thought he could step into his uncle's shoes.
I am a natural as my father, as my Uncle Finnegan.
He's been propped up by giants, men who built a nation, men who safeguarded democracy, men who stood against the tyranny of a one-party state. Now, this little boy is undoing it all. He's dismantling our nation's democracy, all in service of his insecurity and ego.
I have accomplished so much in life.
Every day, he brings us closer and closer to a one-party state, to a growing dictatorship without any opposition. It's time for this little boy to grow up and step down.
However you travel, you're home. Book now and save 50% only at Naya.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
A San Ignacio Santa Elena Town Council employee was shot today while on the job. It happened around 11 o'clock when 20-year-old Dominique Rabateau was on his way to chop an overgrown public area when he was warned that he shouldn't be in the area. According to Mayor Earl Trapp, that's when gunmen came out and fired shots at him. He told us what happened.
What happened is that yesterday a resident of Santa Cruz area called and reminded me of a bushy alley or a street that people don't use on a daily basis. It's more like a dead-end area type of street which is overgrown. And I think some people have been using it and maybe they have, I think they blocked off a portion of it. And what this have done is that it have inconvenienced at least one family that I know that have been calling me that BL don't want to install electricity to their homes because of the bush conditions, and people don't want them to pass through that area. I know this happened about like 2 years ago, and it wasn't done. So when she came again yesterday, I promised her that this morning early I will pass it on to the foreman and they will look at it. So this morning about 6:30, my foreman called me just to verify that they were in the correct place. So I sent him pictures. They did all the work that they should have done through that said place of interest, and then they were continuing on the adjacent road to that going down. They did a good portion when they were, some guys were already on their way out because they were out from early this morning. And he said one of my police said a guy came behind him and said, you cannot walk through this alley, you cannot walk on this area. And the guy said, well, we are just passing. That's the same time this guy called a name and someone came out of the zinc fence and shot 3 shots towards the guys that were on the hill there. The guys ran and then took a right down the lane. The guy came there and shot, I think, another 1 or 2 more shots, one of which caught one of our employees, and another one, it grazed his pants.
Reports tell 7 News that the overgrown area may have been a stash spot. Police say the shooting was committed by 2 masked men who ran off. And around that same time in San Ignacio, a police officer was shot, but so far it appears he may have injured himself. Joshua Koo was reportedly inside the police station when he accidentally shot himself to the thigh area. He was hospitalized and is receiving treatment. Last month, you saw a video showing a public meeting in Indian Creek village erupting into a brawl. The fight was between a resident and the alcalde and his wife. The root of the dispute was that the villagers believed that the alcalde was abusing his power by fining the village council for defamation, among other things. But the villagers say it's not just that. They've been unsatisfied with the alcalde since he came into office 6 months ago. And today they held a press conference to announce that they no longer want to have the alcalde system in their village. Courtney Menzies was there and has this story.
Starting today, roughly 200 villagers in Indian Creek have declared that they will no longer recognize the alcalde system. That's after they say their current alcalde, Marcos Cante, hasn't been working with the village council or even his deputy.
All is what we want is to tell the world that these village leaders, the first alcalde, he cannot agree as I am, my position is a deputy alcalde. He did not make no decision along with me. He is making a decision with other members which are unelected from outside of the community, of the committee. So that is why we are here, to come and say that we do not need any alcalde of this community. The same problem has been taking place, fightings against the community, and this organization is bringing a big trouble to the villagers.
As you all know, this is not the first time that this issue has been going back and forth with the separations of our communities. The people, I think, they've been fed of it, and then it's time to just do something. I mean, we have no option, and we're not giving them no other options. So I think the people have decided of what they wanted to do, and it is time for them to say what they need to say and then to voice their opinion.
One of my concerns as a village member is the alcalde is not allowing the Roman Catholic Church from being rebuilding, or to say that this establishment or this building is sacred to us. I am a group of that Roman Catholic Church. I am a member of that group I am a member of that Catholic Church, and I stand firm with my community that we must abolish the alcalde system.
So people, is this the kind of leader that we want in our village? So here we stand by saying that we doesn't need the alcalde anymore.
But it's not just the claim that he hasn't been working in the village's best interests, but they say that he's been abusing his alcalde power by frivolously levying charges on the village council.
I'm very well concerned that he charged the village council. Those are the things that he has been doing, charging the village council and the secretary. He charged the council abuse of power, defamation, lack of due process for the council, and the secretary abuse of power, $30, and the first one that he charged $80, and that is what we came and questioned him, and that is where the fight has been among us because of him.
It's not the first time they've had alcalde issues. Last year, the village held a protest in front of the National Assembly because they were unhappy with the former alcalde. They believe that the former village council had appointed him instead of the one they had elected. Well, now they're unhappy again with the alcalde who was voted in this time. But they say he got elected because you don't have to present an ID to vote for the alcalde. And they believe he's backed up by the MLA and the TAA.
We voted for an alcalde, but it's not with any ID or any social, but the council we did with a social. But if the majority could have voted this alcalde with IDs, maybe he wouldn't have a chance to win that position as an alcalde.
Because other people come into the village?
Yeah, other village, like people who just recently come, maybe they are from other villages, like they are from Guatemala, they just come to live here or rent for a couple months, they came to vote him. So this is what causes him to be in this position.
I believe that this is a strong message that we are sending to whatever organization that is trying to come and dictate in our community. No one has no right to dictate on behalf of Indian.
We don't want no organizations such as MLA or TAA to come and dictate for us in our village. We don't want them to come and interfere in our community or choose what is to be done for our village. We, the community, or the majority of the Indian Creek, should decide what we need for our community. For example, just last week, Sunday, he went along with few members of the village, not the majority of the village, few members. He went to demarcate the boundary line between Golden Stream and Indian Creek, and then the majority doesn't show up, it's only minority shows up. And is this the type of alcalde that we need?
And now they say they need government's intervention, but they're also not going to just wait around.
The government have to intervene. The Maya leaders have to recognize the rights and the decision of the people of Indian Creek. Because if you look at the faces, if you look at what we have today, they can pull their identification card. They can pull out their ID. They can pull out their social security. So the other half, if they want to keep their alcalde system, let them be. Because there are people who are coming from Guatemala, who are coming to join our village, which we welcome them. We welcome them, but we are Belizeans, and our right is being infringed by the alcalde, by the alcalde system. Because we are Belizean, we have a right to stand up. We have a right to speak for our community.
We have a petition here that has been signed by the people. We have 242 people have been signed to say that we don't need alcalde again. We must abolish it. We are not there to wait. We are not there to wait tomorrow or next week. Effective today, that the people, we are not going to give him any respect from now on, because we are the people that removing him today. We don't want another problem.
When we approached Kante for a response, he declined an interview. But he told us that a meeting is tentatively set for the 13th between himself, the chairman of the village, and Gustavo Requena, the director of the Office of Indigenous Peoples Affairs. Courtney Menzies, 7 News.
The villagers say they have submitted a copy of the petition to their area rep, Oscar Requena. On October 8th, Keycocker is going to a referendum to determine whether marijuana should be legalized on the island. It's unprecedented, and as you heard the PM say, it highlights the holes in the Referendum Act. However, the Minister of Home Affairs is on board with it. He explained that he's not worried about drug trafficking from Keycocker to other parts of the country, since there will be strict measures in place if it is legalized in the village. He also added that he's prepared for pushback from the churches.
You are allowed to have 10 grams of cannabis on you. If Keycocker is the sole distribution center, meaning you have a cultivation center, more than likely it would have to be an indoor cultivation center. If you have dispensaries in Keycocker, there will be a licensing process. And so every single plant, if you know the cannabis industry, is tagged from seed all the way to the dispensary, all the way to the consumer. Under the law, the regulated law that we have, you have to get an ID. You have to get an ID in order to access cannabis from the dispensaries. And so that is not something that is a concern to me. What is a concern to me is the illegal trade of cannabis coming from Mexico every single day, endangering the lives of our young men, especially in Belize City, causing all of these rivals, causing all of these conflicts. And so, in my opinion, I view the Keycocker referendum as a bold initiative by a tourist destination that's saying, hey, tourism is great, but we want to complement it with something. We want to complement it with a regulated industry that keeps cannabis away from young people, that you have to have a card to access it. You have to have areas where you can smoke it. It can't be free for all where you smoke cannabis anywhere on the island. We have consumption lounges. We have restaurant licenses. We have dispensaries. It's going to open up a huge opportunity, especially for tourism, especially for real estate on the island of Keycocker. And you best believe that that money, the portion of it, going back to Keycocker will enhance the destination with infrastructure, with education opportunities for the islanders. So there's a lot of potential, and I think Keycocker got way ahead of the rest of Belize.
Do you foresee that pushback from the churches could force a pause on this initiative?
I expect a pushback from the churches. That's always expected. But if you recall what Pastor Wade, now Senator Wade, had said in the lead up to the referendum, was that let the people decide. If the people decide we want cannabis, then by all means, let us create legislation, responsible, regulated legislation to allow for an industry to be created. So in the lead up to the referendum, I expect them to advocate against it, but at the same time, I expect them to respect it once a decision is made.
The date for the referendum is October 8th. Tonight, there are a chorus of calls being made to the government to release the surveillance videos from government offices in and around the Banquitas area of Orange Walk on the night of August 22nd at 8:30 p.m. Channel 7, Plus TV, and XTV have jointly sent a letter to the Prime Minister making such a request. And the Association of Defense Attorneys has also sent out a strong statement, quote, urgently calling for an independent and transparent investigation into the abduction of Belizean citizen Joseph Budna. They say it has raised grave concerns regarding the conduct of law enforcement and the violations of fundamental human rights. They also demand the immediate release of all surveillance video footage from that night. The NUTCB has also issued a statement saying, quote, with what appears to be the complicity of Belize law enforcement, video evidence shows a disturbing scene where a Belize police officer, rather than intervening to protect a citizen being forcibly taken against their will, appears to have engaged with the alleged kidnappers and subsequently turned away without rendering assistance. The video evidence suggests that rather than protecting a citizen from being forcibly taken, law enforcement may have actively facilitated this illegal act, end quote. The NTUCB calls for, quote, an immediate and thorough Senate inquiry investigation into the role of Belize law enforcement and its leadership in this incident. Full accountability for any officers found to have participated in or facilitated this extrajudicial action, and those in leadership that orchestrated or may have attempted to deceive the among public. UNIBAM and the UDP also issued statements condemning the government and calling for the release of the videos. And while many parties, including the Minister of Home Affairs, are calling for an independent investigation, the mechanics of that are not so clear. That's because under the law, police have the power to investigate and arrest. Today, Minister Musa discussed that technical hurdle.
What would an independent investigation look like?
It's never been done, and so we have to look at the dynamics of that because they will have to have access to all that the police have access to. It's not something common. We'd have to look regionally to see what the processes are, how it's appointed, how do they work along with the DPP moving forward. And so these are things hopefully we can sort out in a very quick time, rapid time, so that they can have access to the police information.
Because in the meantime, we're wasting time. Records could have been deleted already.
Again, that was lone speculative questions, Marisol. We have to wait and see what the investigation has. Yeah.
We take our final break now. When we come back, I went into the sweltering heat of central Belize today to see some firemen from Belize and the region learning the science of forest fires. Don't go away.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Belize, are you really free? Can't you feel the chains tightening? The Ministry of Finance is imposing a new tax system on you so they can see all transactions in real time. It starts with invoices, then the national ID, then your fingerprints. They call it progress in the name of efficiency and transparency. But we know what it is. It's control. They're building a surveillance web, and you're caught in it. Every move, every payment, every transaction will live on a government server forever. To be analyzed and studied, shared with foreign interests who finance these projects. This data will be more valuable than you will ever know.
Somewhere in all of this, there's another pension plan for the boys.
Privacy isn't a luxury, it's a right. It's time to stand up and speak out before it's too late.
NextGen is thrilled to announce the launch of our brand new website. And guess what? It's designed with you in mind. Visit our new NextGen website at www.nextgen.bz. So what's new? Streamlined signups. You can quickly and easily sign up for our services. It's super simple. Easy account management. Access and update your information effortlessly. No hassle at all. Assistance requests. Need help? Just request the assistance you need in a snap. We've got you covered. Enhanced customer service. Connect with our dedicated customer service team seamlessly. We're always here for you. So go ahead, visit us at nextgen.bz. Explore all the new features we have to offer. We're here to make your experience better than ever. NextGen, the next generation of TV and internet.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning. The perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Today was the final day of the Belize Investment Summit under the theme Bridging Markets, Building Resilience. Today, ministers were placed on a panel to discuss targeted investments in transport, utilities, and sustainable infrastructure. The Minister of Home Affairs also shared some remarks at the event on all the milestones they have achieved in opening new markets. Here are their comments.
But investors are right to ask, is the environment enabling? Can business be done easily? To that query, I say unequivocally that our administration has taken heed of the challenges raised at the last investment summit and pressed full speed ahead with a bold agenda of reform. Our reforms promote government working hand in hand with the private sector to create jobs, raise productivity, and open new markets. Through our single investment window, we are reducing bureaucracy, ensuring that investors spend less time navigating paperwork and more time building enterprises. Through the electronic single window for trade, we are cutting repetitive bureaucratic red tape among border agencies and digitizing trade facilitation to lower trade costs and time at the ports of entry.
This ministerial panel will highlight how the government of Belize is advancing that vision through targeted investments in transport, utilities, and sustainable infrastructure, while also creating the enabling policies to support new and emerging industries. The discussion will explore agreements, how infrastructure is aligned with investor priorities, how new trade tariffs and regional agreements are shaping market opportunities, and how Belize is embedding climate resilience into its development strategy. I believe Minister Fonseca did a very good job in explaining that. More than a conversation, though, about roads, ports, or utilities, this is a dialogue on building the foundation for long-term competitiveness. The panel will show how coordinated government action is positioning Belize as an investment-ready economy and a gateway for regional and global trade.
When a wildfire erupts in the forest, do you call the fire department or forestry? Well, both of them can respond, and it's thanks to trainings like the ones held this week on Wildland Fire Service and Firefighter training. It teaches these officers to know the science and strategy of battling a forest fire. I visited the Belize Zoo and Tropical Education Center this morning to get a closer look at what these firefighter trainees have been learning. Here's that story. Firefighters from across Belize and also a few from Jamaica and Guatemala have spent the last week engaging in a wildland fire service and firefighter training, led by other firefighters. The training is made up of 19 units that seek to standardize the basics in field knowledge for firefighters within the region.
The general concept for us is to standardize our operation globally and to ensure that safety is paramount and it is observed at all levels. Because over the years, we would have seen firefighters would have lost their lives in fire-related emergencies across the world. And, we would have used this initiative to ensure that we send home this point to our firefighters that safety begins here. Safety is paramount. We do not give up accuracy for speed. So everything that we do this week has been well calculated. The reception from the firefighters here in Belize has been phenomenal, and the message has been learned. And certainly we are just happy to know that this week was a success.
By the end of this course, the participants should be able to know and understand all the important terminologies and how to properly operate and utilize tools and equipment. The training is not limited to firefighters. It also includes forest rangers and forestry officers.
We were learning about the basic fire management or firefighting skills, where you're learning about fire ecology, you're learning about the different parts of fire. What this particular training is bringing now is trying to standardize what we are doing for firefighting across the region, across the world. So let's say eventually if we reach to the standards or the different gaining this type of training everybody else in the region is getting, we eventually could reach to that level in the future of exchanging firefighters. So it will give us that ability to talk the same terminology, to do, if you're saying, let's construct a fire line, we already know, and using those terminologies and how to use the different tools and enabling us to work as one unit when it comes to fire. As we saw last year, many organizations, NGOs, community members, you had government agencies coming together to fight fire. And trainings like these is actually giving us that opportunity to standardize how we're doing firefighting or wildland fire management as well.
One of those forest rangers is Anthony Morgan, who has been on the job for the past 6 years. He told us what his takeaway was from the drills and practicals they have done.
To be honest, the training, I wouldn't say it was a refresher, but we've been doing this type of fire activity in the Mountain Pine Ridge for some time now. So we do have the background in that area. So what this training has done is help to certify us and make us more official in that aspect. This training, we learned different methods of fire suppression, opening fire lines, crew management, tool usage, and other equipments that may be useful in the suppression of fire. While firefighting is a very risky job, and we have threats from the fire. Even the tools that we use to suppress the fire may be dangerous if we're not handling it properly. Therefore, we also did a session in tool management, tool maintenance, and how to inspect the tool properly.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News. And to get you in the mood for Carnival weekend, we close tonight with TR Shine's performance on Sun Up on 7 this morning in our Carnival special. Make sure to tune in to Channel 7 tomorrow at midday and join Miriam Abdul-Kawi, Wilson Greenwich, and Courtney Menzies for live coverage of Carnival 2025, which starts at midday. Until then, have a good night and a great weekend, and join me back here on Monday at 6.
I want to get up out on the seat home in a TV land, and we want to start this party now. Give me the next track. All right, on in energy? On in energy? All right, and don't forget, you can always go take on this Sapa Campari, our nice drink and Magnum. Because when we touch Par Road March Day, we go hype. Everybody put your flags in the air, in the air, way up there. Everybody jump, get ready to go 2, get ready to go 1, 2. Yo, tell them we airborne, we up in the air. Tell them we airborne, we up in. Everybody, tell them say we up there, we there. Billies and people up there, way up there, we there. 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 Way low. Take off like a rocket from NASA. Boy, we up in the sky just like a flying saucer. Boy, keep going until the temperature get hotter. Boy, let the cloud them wet out with the holy water. Cause it's like I define the laws of gravity. We way up in the sky, losing with sanity. One more time, put your hands up. Yo, now float with me, fly with me. Now everybody, we airborne, we up in the air. Tell them we airborne, Watch Deesho. Zoom in on Deesho. Show them Deesho. Up there, you there. Way up there, you there. Way up there, still there. And nobody like she's still, you know. And nobody know why you're. Watch her now.